Welcome. Welcome to all the faculty members who have joined us today. Great to have you on day 5 of this online FTP, which is sponsored by AICTE Atal Academy and organized by SSC NASCOM. And many of you have been asking me some questions, so I will just repeat some instructions for you while everyone is joining in. I'll also put on the group that people should join in. Just give me a minute. Kindly join in. The session has started. Okay, so some of you have completed the assessment and some of you are already, so I'll just repeat. Basically, attendance we have uploaded for 10th and other attendance, it is still with us. We will be uploading it. We'll be working with the ICT, so please allow us a little time to upload all the attendance. We are hoping to do it by Monday, Tuesday. We should be able to do it. And once the attendance is uploaded, we'll also be uploading your scores. We'll wait for you to complete your assessment. Assessment is on Future Skills Prime. And all of you would have got a coupon code in your email which you have registered. Even your attendance we are tracking through the registered email ID which you have given on the Atal portal. So in case you are logging in from a different ID, the system will not recognize that you are attending this. So I'll request you to join the Zoom link with your registered email ID on Atal. And if there are any exceptional cases, we'll work with you, individually to sort that out. But that has to be done individually. You have to allow us some time. It cannot be done instantly because there's a lot of work that goes in to update the attendance. Then it is like to work and upload the attendance on the portal and then upload the scores as well. So my just request is that please bear with us, and we are trying to work with as many of you as possible, but it takes Vipinji, your attendance is not updated for 10th. We will figure it out. Please remind us on Monday morning. Just drop a mail to me on Monday morning. We will get this sorted. Don't worry. We will, if you have attended, it will be marked. We'll work with you to do that. So I think that's all the housekeeping. I won't take much time. I'll hand it over to our trainer. We are very happy to have with us Shikha Tyagi. She's the founder of AI Jamik. And before that, she was leading the AI practice for American Express, if I'm not wrong. And she has been taking a very delightful sessions, very engaging and full of information sessions. So the same thing, I'm sure I'll request you to interact with her, engage with her, ask your questions, get your doubts sorted. It is an excellent opportunity to learn. So would request you to do that. Still, participants have not joined in. Yesterday, we had almost 90 participants joining in concurrently. And today it's just 31. So I'm hoping that more, because your attendance is also compulsory, guys. You need to have 70% attendance to get your Atal certificate. So if you're not joining, then you will not be able to get your Atal certificate. So let me just be very clear about that. And I'll put that in the group also. And over to you, Shikha. Please go ahead.
Thanks, Kamna. So let me share my screen. Yeah, so I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, and you can all type in your answers in the chat.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Kamna. And hello, everyone. So the topic that I will take you through today is how to use AI tools for online learning. This is also one of my favorite topic also because I also use a lot of AI tools on day-to-day basis to learn new skills. That could be technical skills or can be soft skill also. For example, working on your communication skills. So I really hope that the learning of today's session, you will be able to apply immediately in your work on a day-to-day basis also. Also, feel free to put questions in chat, and also I'll be asking few quizzes in between. So I would like all of you to participate in that by by dropping the answers in the chat. So let's quickly go through the agenda today. So these are the two main topics I will cover today. So first, how to build a smart study system using AI tools. And the second topic, which I'll briefly touch upon towards the end of the session, is to how to use AI ethically. This becomes very important because all of you are in education sector. So it becomes very important that whatever information that you are consuming and you are going to deliver it to your students is actually correct and is drawn from the facts. So this is what I'll talk about towards the end. So now let's start with a quick check or a quick question. So, do you know what is hallucination? Please drop in chat yes, no. And if you know, feel free to provide a 1 to 2 liner on what do you understand by hallucination. So, please use chat. Yeah, so I see a lot of people know about this and getting response as yes. Yeah. Anyone wants to write anything like what do you understand by that if you know that? Thanks, Chandrini. Okay, so let me talk about what is hallucination. So all the AI tools that we are using on a day-to-day basis, none of those are 100% correct. So whatever response that we get, they might be 90% correct, 95% correct, 99% correct. But no AI gives you correct answer all the time. They might produce your responses in such a way that they look grammatically and semantically correct, but the numbers which they are quoting in the answer is incorrect. So this is what is meant by hallucination. So very important to understand that before going to use any AI tool for any of the use cases, not just for learning, online learning, any of the use cases that you want to create or use it for, you should be aware of this limitation of all the AI models. Now with that, let's go through this 4-step process that I'll take you through today for building this smart study system design using the AI tools. So first phase will be learning phase, where we will be actually using a lot of AI tools as our thought partner. That could be for upskilling, learning new skills. That can be technical skill, or you want to improve on your communication or presentation skill. So this is where you are a student and learning something new. The second step will be how to do the content design and delivery of the content for any of the course that you are taking up or any of the topic that you are going to teach to your students. So there I will take you through different tools which you can use for content design and interactive media creation. The third will be assessment phase, where I'll talk about which AI tools you can use for item creation, auto grading, assessing the things that you have learned. Have you grasped it or not? Or what you are teaching to your student, are they understanding those topics or not? And if there are certain weakness areas, Can you analyze those weakness areas and take again help of AI tools to improve upon that? So this is all what we will see in the analytics phase, which will be the last phase, where I'll talk about again how you can use these AI tools for generating discussion summaries, which might be happening, let's say in a LMS, which you are using, could be Google Classroom, whatever responses of the quizzes that you have created for your student, you can actually drop those results to these AI tools and generates insights out of it. So these are the 4-step process that I will take you through today. So first, let's start with a learning phase where let's see how you can use AI as your partner in thinking. So AI helps you in reflecting, brainstorming, and exploring different perspectives that you may have missed while learning a topic by on your own. So this is your AI thought partner. You can think of it, which can help you in learning and researching in new areas which are coming up. So I'll give you a quick demo of some of these tools. Some are related to a technical, some I'll take you through which you can use for research purpose. And then there are some tools which you can use for, let's say, working on your soft skills. For example, let's say working on your communication skills. So the first one which I'll take you through today is Google Colab. So this is, let's say, all of you are taking these courses on generative AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning. Now you have understood a bit of theory, you want to put it in a practical implementation. So Google Colab is one of those tools which you can use readily without doing any installation. Anyone has used Google Colab? Uh, if yes, you can drop it in chat. Yes, Chuck. Yeah, I see few yeses. Okay, so now I see few people have used. So let me take you through what is Google Colab and how you can use that as your AI pair programmer. So let me type. So this is collab.research.google.com. And by the name, as you can see, it's a product by Google. And what Google has done actually, so let's create a new notebook. So Google has actually integrated its AI tool, which is your Gemini inside Google Colab. So whatever queries, let's say you have related to a code, you can ask instantly with the Gemini. And if you see here, in the bottom center, there is Gemini integrated inside it. You can just click on it and just click on the privacy mode. And you see, it instantly gives you this prompt like, what can I help you build today? So let's say any of you exploring Python want to work on end-to-end data science application, artificial intelligence, machine learning application. So you can take help of Google Colab and Gemini here. So let's say you want to analyze some Excel or CSV file. So you can write, help me analyze. So you can write instructions in plain English language, and it will help you generate the relevant codes, which you can here itself put and start executing. So here you see it has put together the step or workflow which runs. So you see load the CSV file in pandas data frame to begin. Then explore the data, which is your basic summary statistics, such as reading few rows, putting data types, summary statistics, understand its structure, then perform data analysis. So it also gives you these options. Do you want to run all of that at once, or you want to run it step by step? So here for, let's say, learning purpose, we are learning. We don't want everything to be done by these AI agents. So the best way to do that is to click on this run step by step, and it will start preparing the relevant code snippets. Here you see it has generated the end-to-end plan that first it will do the preparation of the code. So you see it has created the relevant cells here, and it has given the appropriate commentary also, or the comment that the first task is to analyze a CSV. For that you need to load the CSV. So here you see it has generated the code for you, like what is the packages that you need, the file that you need, and here the normal print statements. And then it gives you a option of accept, run, or cancel. So here lets you do this. So it will start going to the next step. Now you see there is an error that you have get. So what traditionally you used to do when, let's say, you were doing standalone coding, you will copy this error, go to some, let's say, Stack Overflow or some other website and identify the error. But with this, you can have an option of explain error. So the error here is actually the file which is being read here is not available here. So basically in Colab, you need to upload the files which can be analyzed here. Because the file is not here, so it has generated that error. So what you can do, instantly ask it to explain the error and do the resolution for you. So in this way, you see code generation, explaining the error, all of that can be done together in this single browser window that you are seeing. So you see it has generated the error that it has actually explained the error, that this was the error because the file was not found at the specified location. And it gives you the steps also, like what you can do to resolve this particular issue. So in this way, this is how you can use Google Colab as your thought partner to learn end-to-end coding. You can build end-to-end machine learning pipeline. You can ask, let's say, how to use GenAI models, which are open source for, let's say, question and answering tasks, summarization tasks. So this is how you can work on your technical skill by using Gemini, which is integrated in Google Colab. So this was the first tool I wanted to take you through. Ma'am, are you sharing? I see someone has said, ma'am, are you sharing any screen? I'm sharing screen. Are you able to see? I'm currently in Google Colab. Uh, I hope my screen is visible to all of you. Okay. So now this was the first tool that I wanted to take you through. Now let me talk about the second tool, which is your GitHub Copilot. How many of you have used GitHub Copilot? So this is one of my favorite also. So this is the github.com where you can integrate GitHub Copilot. So you have, if let's say you're doing it for the first time, you see it itself says that it is your AI pair programmer. So you can click here and click on try Copilot now. It has a free tier where you have limited queries that you can ask, but it's not like it's paid. So you have free version also available here. So once you, let's say, go to GitHub Copilot and click on try now, you will see this sort of user interface, which is very similar to your ChatGPT type interface. So before these GitHub Copilot like tools, let's say there was a GitHub repository which I wanted to understand what it does, what it talks about, I would have to go through manually all the codes. But with GitHub Copilot, what you can do, if you see here, they provide you these options like add repositories, files, spaces, and you can ask actually questions on top of it. So you can provide a link to a code which is there in GitHub and help or take help of GitHub Copilot in explaining what that code is doing so that I can use that and enhance it, add some more features in it and run it at my end. So let's say one of the very popular uh, tool is LangChain in GenAI space. So if any one of you are using AI capabilities, so LangChain is very popular tool available. So let's say you want to understand about LangChain repository. So what you can do, you can just copy the URL and paste it here. And you see it instantly identifies that this is a GitHub repository location. So this is what you see. And now you can ask questions on top of it. Like let's say you just want to understand what this particular package does. So you can ask like, help me understand the functionality of this repo. And this is not the only thing. Let's say you are reading some research paper and sometimes people provide different implementations also. Like this was the research paper you were reading about, let's say on some new AI tool which has come up. So people provide GitHub repositories also. So you can provide the link of those GitHub repositories here and understand how you can implement it yourself also. So you see it has read and used the location of the repository that we provided. It uses like what the core functionality. And if you see, these are the different modules within the LangChain repository, which I have provided here. So it provides you details of like what this particular submodule does, what is the functionality of this. And if you have interest, you can dig deeper in any of the specific submodule and ask more question with respect to any specific file that you want to go through. So in this way, this is how you can analyze big code bases or repositories, packages, which are already available using GitHub Copilot. And this GitHub Copilot is not limited to Python only. It is like it can be used for Java, end-to-end software development packages. That is what you can analyze. You can ask it to generate codes also. If you already have a code, again, you can upload that code and help you in understanding the step-by-step functionality of that code. So in this way, GitHub Copilot is also a very handy tool which you can use. And again, it doesn't need any setup and installation, which if you are already using any, let's say, software. So a lot of languages, they need you to download specific softwares and then run it. But these are two very popular cloud-based solutions that you can use. So this was the second tool I wanted to talk about. The third is specific to research. Let's say you want to do research on some latest like paper which has come up, or you want to read about what are the latest publications which have come up. So I'll take you through Elicit now. So Elicit is a very popular AI tool used for scientific research. So let's go through it and let's see what are all the functionality it has to offer. So this is the dashboard or the landing page of elicit.com. So you see, it purely focuses on the research purpose. So the last tool that I had taken you through it was primarily related to technical coding, but let's say you want to read some latest research papers. So you can use this first tab which says find papers. So let's say I want to read some latest papers on AI in education. So this is the topic that I have in mind. So what you can do, you can click here, enter. And if you see here, it provides some like options also to improve upon your point. So here you see specificity. You can mention in the prompt like what is the impact of AI powered personalization learning platforms on student academic performance in secondary school. So let's say this is the research that you are interested in and you want to find some latest papers on it. So this is how you can make your prompts more specific. So if you see, I had just written these AI in education as a phrase, and Elicit itself provide you refined version of the prompt to narrow down on your query. Then you can have a comparative approach also, and then accordingly it will modify your prompt. But for now, let's just use this simple phrase and hit enter. So you see, it has started searching for what were the papers published. And here you see, this is the latest publishment which has come in 2025. And then you see with that, there is another column where it generates a summary also of that particular paper. So instead of you going manually and reading the entire paper, it generates a short and crisp summary also alongside the paper. So here it has generated a list of 10 papers, which it has found more relevant to the query which user has asked. So you see, study, it is an entire study in the field like how to use AI in education, opportunity and challenges for personalized learning. So it has generated a summary of this particular paper. So this is, you see how you can use this to identify and filter on the specific topics that you want to research on, read more on. So these are the 10 papers it has found, and it has given you the summary also. And it at the bottom, it provides you more option also of load more papers. So if you want to read more papers, so you can do that also. And also whenever you click on a specific paper, so it gives you this paper detail section tab also. So here you can read the abstract, and if you want to have more details, you can click on the specific title of the paper. So this is how you can research on the different topics. Apart from that, it provides you research report option also. Let's say you want to generate a research report on a topic. For example, you see it has given these three options to just get started with. You can select any of these or provide a topic of your own on which you want to do some research. So let's say I click here, and then you can just hit enter, and it will start working on the end-to-end research report generation. And it also gives you like what are the sources it has considered. So you see 500 sources found, and how it has done the screening of the sources, then it has extracted the data. So it has gone through these step-by-step process to generate a report on this. And you can then go through it, read about it, generate it as a PDF. And Elicit also gives you an option to actually upload and extract. So let's say you already have a paper with you and you want to understand that paper. You have some questions related to that paper. So you can upload that paper and ask it to explain it to you. So few concepts, let's say you were finding it difficult to understand. So you can write prompts and ask it to explain it to you. So this is a very handy tool, elicit.com, for doing the research. So these three tools which I just showed you, Google Colab, Copilot, Edison, they are related to working on your technical research skill. Now, one more tool which I'll talk about is, let's say you want to work on your presentation skills, communication skills. In this online world, having a good communication and presentation skills is now equally very important. So there are very popular tools available, and one of that is Udemy. So you see, Udemy is very popular for working on your soft skills.
Is this a free tool? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, so there are some 4 to 5, I think, interactions you can do for free. Yeah, it's not completely free. I think 4 to 5 is what you can do. Apart from this, also there are multiple tools, so you can try those others also. So you see, when you log into Udemy, it gives you these options like how Udemy can help you. Like, are you looking to work on some upcoming speech or presentation, interview preparation, or let's say you are a communication coach who wants to work upon the communication aspect. So you can pick any of these. Let's say I pick this. Then you see, once you will do a presentation with Udemy, it will talk about different analytics aspect related to the speech that you delivered, how you were talking. So this is like, how was your eye contact, conciseness, and it will give you some feedback like it could be improved. How was the pacing of your delivery? So there also it will provide you feedback. So this is how Udemy works. So I would like all of you to go back and try this tool. So public speaking is what you can improve upon. So you see, once you log in, you provide all the information of yours. So here you can click on like what you want to practice on. You want to role play, you want to work on a presentation or interview which is coming up next. Here, if you see with the free plan, you get 5 interactions for free. So you can have 5 interactions, but after that, I think you will need to upgrade. So in the interview role play presentation, there are different like options available, and you can pick any and work upon the analytics. So you will actually have to provide a recording or do a live presentation there, and it will analyze your speech, your choice of words, the delivery, and will give you feedback basis on that what can be improved and what is you are doing already good. So you see, it will need access to both your webcam and microphone because it will track your expressions also. If you don't want to use Udemy, I think with ChatGPT also you can actually write a prompt and ask it. It has an option to provide instructions in form of voice also. So you see this voice. So you can actually use voice commands also. So you can say or write a prompt here that I'm working for an upcoming presentation. And I will be doing a recording with you for a minute. Can you help me analyze my strength, weaknesses? What should I work on? So with ChatGPT, though it's not a personalized tool, so I'll again emphasize. So ChatGPT is your generic tool, which can do everything, but it is not a customized tool for such tasks. But let's say if you don't want to go to any other tool, so feel free to use this also for your communication aspect. So yeah, so these are the few tools that I wanted to cover, which you can use for improving both your technical skills, which improve like coding, researching about topics, and using it for your communication skills also. Yeah. So these are the hands-on which I have already done. So let's now go to the next section. So as I told you in the beginning, this is smart study system design is going to be a four-step process. So the first step was the learning phase, where I showed you all these tools which you can use to upskill and learning new skills. Now the second stage will be how to use the learnings or how to use the different AI tools for content design and delivery of the material. So this is with respect to, let's say, you have you are supposed to give a course on a specific topic. You are going to explain a topic to your students in a 1 week course plan. So how you can take help of these AI tools for designing the content and the delivery of that content. So this is the focus of this particular step that I'll take you through now. So let's say this is the goal you have in mind. So this is what it says. It has this objective of create a complete 1 week module you can implement immediately in your course using AI tools that I'll take you through now. So let's say this is the requirement you have in mind. So let's say as a teacher, professor, I need to work on this 1 week module where I will have 90-minute live session on a specific topic that I'm going to teach to student. It should have 3 measurable outcomes basis on Bloom's apply and analyze. Two async activities, which will be time estimates. Then I need OER reading. So, which will be video, could be videos also, and they should be verifiable links. And after that, I need a graded assessment also to assess the students. The tools that I'll take you through now is are the very popular ones. So Perplexity is what I'll use first for getting the content which I want to teach to students. So this is what will help us in sourcing the open educational resources or your OERs. And then I'll use ChatGPT for template-driven approach for consistency. So I'll take you through this process of how to design the content for any course that you plan to take with any of the requirements that you have in mind. Okay. So this is just for the reference, Bloom's taxonomy. You can, if already don't know, can go through it. Now let's move to the next slide. Now, before I begin, I have a quick question to all of you. I just mentioned that I will be using Perplexity. So can you drop in chat that Perplexity is an AI search engine or a large language model? So can you give me an answer in chat? Yeah, I got one answer, LLM. Others, okay. Yeah, so you have to pick between these two, AI search engine or a large language model. So I've got 4 responses. 3 says LLM. Yeah. So I'm getting now AI search engine as a response. So it's like I would say 50-50. Some are saying LLM and some are saying AI search engine. So basically, Perplexity is your AI search engine. So you can think of it as a competitor of Google search. So it's not a LLM in itself. It actually uses LLM to enhance your search experience. So this is how you can think of. And now in the next demo that I'll take you through, I'll show you why it's not a LLM. It is actually using other LLMs provided by other vendors to assist you in searching the right information from internet. So now let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so I will be using two tools, Perplexity and ChatGPT. And these are the prompts that I will be using. So the first prompt, which you see here at the top, I will write that in Perplexity. This I will use to gather openly available resources on a specific topic that I want to teach to students as per the goal which I had just shown you in the last slide. So now let's go to Perplexity. And I will also show you why Perplexity is a better choice. There are other tools you can use, but I prefer Perplexity when authenticity or source citation matters. So let me show you. So you see, when I type Perplexity AI, itself says Perplexity is a free AI-powered answer engine that provides accurate, trusted, and real-time answer to any question. So let's click here. So this is your Perplexity's landing page. And similar to other tools like ChatGPT, Gemini that you might be using, here if you see, choose a model is an option provided. And if you click here, so you see it has an option that you can pick Sonar, GPT 5.1. So GPT 5.1 is actually provided by OpenAI, which is the one who's creating large language models by this series of GPT. Then you see Claude Sonnet. So this is provided by another LLM provider called Anthropic. So Claude is the LLM created by them. So you see Anthropic's newest advanced model. Now Gemini, this is Google's latest model. Then you see Grok, this is your X's or previously known as Twitter's AI advanced model. So you see, you have this option of selecting any of these LLM models provided by these different vendors. So it is LLM agnostic. You can use any LLM, write a query here, and it will use behind the scene those LLM to synthesize the result. But a lot of the functionalities, what we see for Perplexity is similar to your Google search. So in Google search, what you do? You write a query, it gives you 10 links in the first page. So what Perplexity does, it also does similar searching and then uses those large language model to give you a structured response. So instead of providing you those 10 links, which you'll have to click manually, go read that page and see it meets your requirement or not. So Perplexity uses those LLM to do that for you. Now, if I compare this with ChatGPT, let's go to ChatGPT. So if I click here, so you see it provides me options related to GPT models only. So it's not that you see Gemini model here or Anthropic's Claude Sonnet model because these are the competitors. So in ChatGPT's interface, you won't see an option to select Gemini or Anthropic's model. So this is how you can see Perplexity is not your LLM. It's just, you can think of as an AI tool built on top of your large language model. So now that we understand the difference between Perplexity and your LLMs, let's use the prompt that I was showing you to generate the content for the course that you are planning to deliver. So here first I'll copy this step 1 prompt and let me put it in Perplexity. So here see, I have written this prompt in Perplexity that find 8 to 10 authoritative recent sources on topic. Now, this topic, what you see here is a placeholder. So now you can change it and it will be the topic that you have to deliver. So let's say it is data pre-processing in data analytics. So let's say you're taking a course on data analytics and next week you are going to focus on data pre-processing. So here this is what you can write as a topic. And then you say that prefer these resources because these are the verified resources. If you take some material from it, you there's a very less chance of that being wrong. So if you remember in the beginning, I was saying that how to use AI in education is very important to understand. It's very responsible field. So AI, as I told you, can hallucinate. That's why providing these constraints that prefer these resources to create or identify the content is of very importance. So now I put this return a table format option. And then if you see, I say that exclude personal blogs, unverifiable sites. Like if the material should not come from anyone's personal blog where there can be some, information which is incorrect or wrong. So now with this, let's hit enter. So here you see, it has curated a table of 8 sources on data pre-processing in data analytics, covering these sections of missing data, outlier, encoding, scaling, leakages. And if you see, it has this table with title, then the link from where it has fetched the information, year, why use, is it a OER or not? So it has put a flag of yes and no. So in this way, because the links are also provided, you can quickly click on these links and verify the information also. So here, you see everything which it has put, it has provided a link also so that you can go and verify whether that link or information exists or not. And here also, if you see here, it provides all the sources. So you see 10 sources. So these are the sources it has used to prepare the table that we are seeing. See lecture 10, it has taken from YouTube, from NPTEL, Introduction to Data Science. So all the links are provided along with the content. So this is how you can source all the information. Now, as a next step in Perplexity only, let's run this prompt. So now you have all these links and using only the links which are provided, you want to create a 2-pager, let's say, teacher brief on this topic. So let's write this prompt now. So see, now as a follow-up prompt, I have written that from the sources above, produce a 2-page teacher brief. You can change it 3-page, 4-page on this particular topic, data pre-processing and data analytics. And these are the sections you want, like key ideas, common pitfall, do, don't checklist, and 3 short examples. And every claim, again, you are mentioning that must have an inline citation like author or year. So this information should be there to support from where you have picked up that information. This is again to make sure the content which is there in the teacher brief is not the result of hallucination. So putting things like these, make sure that your content is coming from the right source from the internet. So now let's hit enter. So now it has started producing the content. And here you see it has given the links also as citations, like from which particular resource from the table it has created this key ideas section. So here you see it referred to NPTEL, scikit-learn documents, and Lake FS for creating this key idea section. Then common pitfalls, again, it has given you the citation from which it has taken this. Then the do and don't checklist, like what always assess and understand your data set before pre-processing. So like some good steps which should be done while analyzing the data. Then as asked, it has provided 3 short examples also, which is like first is on missing data imputation, second is on outlier management, and preventing data leakage. Again, with every line, if you see, it has provided the resources also from where it has taken it. Now, as a next step, what you can do, you can export this. So you see, it provides you a lot of options, PDF, Markdown, or a docx file. So let's do that. Let's save it as a PDF. So you see, you have got this PDF exported, and it has provided all these information. And you at the bottom, if you see, it has provided all the resources also. So you see, it has taken all the content from these 8 resources. If you let's say want to do some editing, so you can export it as a document file also, docx file, and do editing of your own. But this is the way how you can prepare the study material for any topic that you are going to deliver. So this was your content design. Apart from that, I'll now quickly show you 3 more prompts, which I'll take you through ChatGPT. This will be to prepare an outline. So let me put it on full screen. So if you look at the objective that we have in mind, we need to create actually a template also, like how the timing will look like. There will be 90-minute live session. Some hands-on activities will be there. So now let's take help of ChatGPT to generate the timing and plan for us. So now let's use these other prompts in ChatGPT. And always a good practice to create a new project or chat for any task that you are doing. Otherwise, as you might know, while answering any question, ChatGPT uses your previous conversation also in the same tab. So if you had provided some other conversation, so it might use that also to answer your this current query. So always good idea to create a fresh tab or a chat to work on a new project. So now let's use this prompt. So first is your persona prompt. This is the heart of your prompt engineering. So if you guys know about prompt engineering, it's always a good idea to give a right persona to any AI tool that you are working with. And when you're working with these generic tools like ChatGPT that you can use for any of the query, so then it becomes even more important so that it works in a way that you want it to behave. With specialized tool, they already have those hard-coded prompts behind the scene. So let's say you are using any AI tool for coding, as I was showing you. So behind the scene, they already know that it's a coding specific tool which has been built. So they create some persona prompt already, which is running behind the scene. We are not seeing it, but that's why they are working in that particular way, that they know that they have to work on this coding task or a research task. So this is the persona which has been provided to these specialized AI tools. But when you're working with ChatGPT, Gemini, you can ask any type of question and it will give you the answer. But if you want the quality of it to be really good in the first step itself, so you can provide these role information. So here you see this is the persona I'm giving that. This is your role. You are a higher educational instruction designer. Who's the audience, bandwidth which they will work with, what LMS you are using, like Google Classroom or Moodle, constraint, output style. So these all information you can provide, and whatever you see in this bracket, so these are the placeholders which you can change as per your requirement. So now let's click enter here. So this is just, we are giving the persona, we are not asking it to produce anything yet. So this is just the information we have provided. Now I will put this next prompt. Okay, so let's put this prompt that write 4 measurable learning outcomes for a topic. Topic again that we are working on. It is your data pre-processing and data analytics. So we wanted to follow Bloom's apply, analyze. We will have learning outcome and it should have a course outcome also. And this is the format we have asked it to return the response in. So you see it has created a structured table for us, which you can right away copy, and if you want, you can paste it in Google Sheet. So it has come up with the learning outcomes and have put a tag of course outcome. So first you can see apply data cleaning techniques, apply data set, analyze the data set to identify pattern, and that falls under Bloom level of apply, analyze, analyze, and evaluate. Now what I'll do next, I'll paste this final prompt, which will use both of this. So using these learning outcomes, so the learning outcome which we just got from ChatGPT. So this table is actually our learning outcome table. And then the content that we had. So slide outline or the 2-pager content that we had got from Perplexity. So for content creation, Perplexity as a source is good because it provides you all the verifiable resources. You can go back and check like from where it is coming. So you can just copy paste this, or you can actually upload the PDF also in ChatGPT. Any option works. So I provided the learning outcome, I provided the content, and after that, if you remember from the final goal that we had, it was to create a 90-minute live plan split into 10 to 15 segments plus 2 asynchronous activities with time estimate. And this is the output table format. So now let's click enter. Let's retry. So basically the final output will again be a table where you will have the segment, minute, purpose, and what to show do, and the tool that you will be using. And all these tables which are generated by ChatGPT. So if you see here, you can simply copy these and you can create a Google Sheet. So you create this new spreadsheet and directly paste this here and share it with students, whoever is the audiences. Yeah, so it is generating again the content, but this is how the final result will look like. and you can copy that information spreadsheet and share it in any LMS also, like Google Classroom or Moodle. Now, as next step, I talk about what are the popular tools available for creating presentation. So, has any of you used any AI tool for creating presentations? Yeah, I see responses, Gamma. Yeah, so Gamma is a very popular tool. Canva. Canva, yeah. So Canva and Gamma, yes, they are two very popular tools. So I'll take you through Gamma quickly. So this is also what I use sometimes. It can create really amazing presentation in just a few minutes for you. So let's say whatever content that you had. uh, So whatever content that we had generated from Perplexity, you want now it to convert it into presentation. So let's see how you can do that. So let me open. um, So this is one of the presentations I had worked on. So let me show you. And let me show you how you can create a slide by slide content using, again, ChatGPT like tool. So basis on the previous. So let's use the PDF content here. This was a content. Now let's say you want to convert it into a slide, like some 8 to 10 slides. So let's use ChatGPT's help. And you can use a prompt like this. So let me show you how the prompt looks like. So this is the prompt that you can use to generate slide by slide content. So it says that create a 8 to 10 slide deck on a 90-minute undergraduate live session titled Foundation of Data Analytics. Use the following slide content. So whatever content that you had got using Perplexity, what you can do, you can paste that content here and it will use that as a reference to create those slides. If you don't provide that information, ChatGPT can also create on its own the content for the slide. But again, better to get information from the verified sources where we had used Perplexity for it. Then there are some constraints which you can put in here, like requirements for delivery to student. Tone should be academic style. So this is again the style that you are putting here. And like tone should be like this. Clarity and readability, what sort of fonts to be used. Engagements, if you want to have within the slides, in polls, quick exercises, or discussion prompt, and how the instruction flow should look like. So follow the logical sequence from agenda, concept demo, hands-on exercises. So this is how you can put in different information here and paste the content here. And let's just, let me paste the information. Let's hit enter. This will generate a slide by slide plan for you, which you can then take to Gamma. So you see, it has generated the content. If you don't want to use Gamma, you can actually, you actually have a, some information that you can put in slides and do a bit of formatting on your own also. So you see, it has provided the right flow, how it should look like. Slide one, giving you the objective of the session. Why data pre-processing matters. It again has provided the resources, handling missing data. So all of that information, it has segregated in different slides. So what you can do, you can copy all of this information. And what ChatGPT recently has done is you can now connect Canva also and make a design. So this is how you can see how these different apps are now talking to each other to give user a simplified view so that they don't have to go to other websites. So now as a tool, you can connect Canva also and help you in creating a design. And ChatGPT can also help you in creating some PPT file. I have used them, but I prefer like Gamma as a tool a lot. So you can try ChatGPT's PPT files also, but Gamma provides really a nice to users. So here you can then click on create new, you can paste your text here, whatever information you had, and generate from notes and outline, and click on continue with prompt editor and you will start getting the results. So some of the presentations I had created before, let me quickly take you through that. Yep. So this is something created by Gamma on the same topic, data pre-processing essential. So you see, it gives you a really nice structured view, like what is data pre-processing, what are the different steps involved in it, starting from cleaning, encoding, scaling, splitting it for the data analysis. What are the different ways of handling missing data? All of that, this slides and the content is generated by whatever content you have, you copy from here and paste it to Gamma. Then you see it has created visuals also on its own. So basis on the kind of topic that you are covering in a slide, it tries to generate visuals also, but always do a proofreading what visual it is generating. As I told you, it's not 100% correct. You might need to verify it, like, is it making sense or not? So like it's a outlier detecting capability, but this doesn't look like it. It's kind of a trend series which has generated. So here you might need to, keep that subject matter expertise hat and use that to analyze all the content which is being generated by these presentation tools. So always do a double, triple proofreading of whatever content you are going to present to students. Similarly, how to do the encoding of categorical variables. So here it has provided a really nice distinction of the types of methods which are available. And if you remember, we had asked it to be interactive. So what it has done, it has put in some questions also which you can ask to students during the class, that why one hot for non-ordinal categories. So this is how you can write in the instruction to make sure that you get the relevant engagement activities within the slides. So this is how you can generate the slides using all the different types of AI tools available. Gamma is one of that. There are multiple other tools also which you can explore. Yeah, I get a question, Ankush. Yeah, I think this slide will be made available to you. So you will have access to all the prompts. Okay, so we have covered the slide generation. Yeah. So now we have completed two steps. First was upskilling ourselves, learning new skills, then using these AI tools to design the content which you want to deliver in a course and creating slides out of those content. The third step is assessment phase. So this assessment can be of your own learning also, like whatever you have learned in the first phase, have you grasped that concept or not? Or it can be for your students also, like whatever content you delivered in the second phase, are they comfortable with that or not? So for that, you need to create a assignment or some quizzes. So let's take help of different types of AI tools to do that. Here, I'll talk about two tools. First is your chat GPT. You can use Perplexity also for that. There is one specialized tool, Quizzy, which I'll take you through. So I'll take you through these two options. So feel free to use any of these. So these are the prompts here for the assessment and the feedback bank, which I'll show you by pasting in ChatGPT. And let's quickly see what sort of response we get. So from the reading, let's say given above, because this is the same chat, so it will have understanding of what we have already pasted. From the reading pasted above on data pre-processing for data analytics. Create 5 items. So this is the item that we are creating. We are asking it to create 2 MCQs with misconception-based distraction. So where people usually get confused. One numeric, one scenario-based, and one interpret the graph type of question. So to understand like what the learning has been of students of or your own learning, you can ask ChatGPT to generate these different types of MCQs, numeric scenario-based Q&As, interpret the graph type of questions. So now let's hit enter. So you see, it has started generating this like MCQ topic from missing data imputation. It provides 4 responses. It has given the answers also, but let's say you are doing it for your own. You can provide in the instruction that do not provide the answers so that you don't know beforehand like what the answer is. So in the second also it has provided the answer. Then the third is a numeric item. So it's not a choice based. Students or you have to do the calculation to arrive at the right response. So this is the third example of that. Then you have a scenario based that this is a particular scenario, like which particular method you should use. So here the student will have to do the reasoning and then come up with the answer. And the fifth is interpret the graph. So here, given a box plot of monthly sales, which shows this information, you need to interpret what the graph indicates about the distribution of sales and suggest an appropriate pre-processing step based on the principle from the reading. It provides the answer key for all the questions also. And then how to do the evaluation for these different questions. If someone scores 4, what should be the criteria? They should have fulfilled this. If someone you are marking as proficient in the concept accuracy, they should have followed this particular step. Similarly, for every criteria, you have certain like criteria which that student should have done to get that particular score. So maximum that student can score is 16. So in this way, you can ask it to provide different rubrics for different types of questions. And again, you get a follow-up. You can turn it into Canvas ready style, or you can just simply copy paste and share via Google Sheet. You don't have to do anything fancy. And upfront say to students that these are the criteria which is going to be used for grading any student on, let's say, accuracy, pre-processing logic. So transparency is maintained. So now this is Chat GPT. There are some specialized tool also for doing this activity. So Quizy is one such tool. It's now called Wayground actually. It has been rebranded. Yeah. So this is the tool through which you can use AI to create the questions for any specific topic. So you see, it provides you at the top these three options like create, search, or upload or enhance the content. So if you want to create quizzes based on a reading or information that you have, you can click on create. And you see, it helps you in doing the assessment. It has come up with presentations also. Video, you can create passages, flashcard for interactivity. So if you want to create quizzes using the AI tool, you can click on assessment. And then you see these three options like you want to import from already existing Google Forms spreadsheet. You want to generate with AI from document, website, text. You want to create from scratch. So if you want to use AI to do that for you, you can click here and whatever material you have, you can upload from the device and it will automatically generate quizzes for you. You can provide text or prompt also and ask it to create some quizzes. So you can paste the entire content also or just put a topic and it will take help of AI to automatically generate the question. So let's say generate quiz on data pre-processing in data analytics. So you can specify number of question, you can specify grades, like professional university development, university 12th grade, and then you can click on continue. And it will do the analysis at the back end. And it gives you like options also now, which subtopic you want. And you can select, let's say, data cleaning, or you can select multiple also. And then finally click on generate quiz. So you see, it has generated these 10 questions, which you can share with the students. So it has option of sharing also. So you can actually, when you finalize this quiz, you can save it and share as a link with students. So, and also you can integrate it with different LMS also. So that option is also provided here. So you see, it has provided different questions related to data cleaning. It has provided answers also. And all of that is generated automatically. It provides option to edit this question, delete also. Always do a proofreading. Is the answer correct or not? Is it something which you don't want in the particular quiz? You can make all the edits here. So this is another tool which you can use for creating, grading, and assessment type of tasks. Now the last step is analytics phase, which is analyze your learning, analyze the summaries of the discussion. So here, what you can use, there are different tools. Again, you can use Perplexity is a really good tool. Whenever there's summarization, Q&A type of task, your Chat GPT Perplexity works really well. Notion AI is also something very popular these days. If you want to use, you can try that. Fireflies.ai is used for transcripts analysis. A lot of people these days use these extension to record the meeting, summarize it, and identify the key points. So all those information now you can do or analyze it using the tools available. I'll just quickly show you a demo now. Let's say you want to analyze the discussion happen in a Google Classroom. So Google actually provides you an option to export all the chat conversations which happen in a classroom, which you can then get analyzed using your tools like ChatGPT to identify what students are talking about, what are the key pain points, some misconceptions which you might identify based on the conversations which are happening. So now I'll take you through how to do that. So whenever you export a classroom conversation, this is how it looks like. So you see, it will be a JSON type file where everything will be there. What was the people talking about? So whatever you see in the text, this is what a student wrote. These are usually very lengthy conversation, and manually analyzing them is a very time taking process. So what you can do, you can take all these conversations, export it as JSON. So Google has this capability. You can just copy this and then paste it in ChatGPT or Perplexity. You can use Gemini also. If you have multiple discussion forum, you can take all the conversation and dump it in a prompt. And the prompt that I'm going to use is this. Along with the actual content, this is the instruction prompt I will be using now. So let's see what the instructions of the prompt looks like. So we are asking ChatGPT to summarize these posts into themes, misconception, and a 15-minute practice task. Now, whatever the misconceptions students are having related to a topic, you want to design a 15-minute practice task for this and write a supportive 120-word announcement. So this is what this is the analysis that we want ChatGPT to do for us. So let's hit enter. Yeah. So these are the themes from the post which we have provided. So you see, first theme is like order of pre-processing steps. So multiple students are discussing like when to split data, scale or impute. So it seems a lot of discussion is happening around this topic. People are also discussing handling missing values. They're talking about data cleaning fundamentals, outliers, and transformation. So these are the key themes which are coming out basis on the discussions information we have put in ChatGPT. Now let's see what common misconceptions students are having where they are confused. So first is scaling before splitting. So this is like, should we do scaling first or splitting first, which could lead to risk of data leakage. Then some students have confusion related to mean imputation, always acceptable or not. Label encoding is safe for linear models or not. So these are some of the misconceptions analyzed basis on the student conversation. Now for that, what has been done, a 15-minute practice task has been created. So what is done that a data set named sales underscore small.csv should be analyzed by the student, and this is how the task flow will look like. So here, first split the data set. On the train set only, do all of this, then apply the fitted preprocessing step and write a brief 5 to 6 sentences on the preprocessing. So this is how a task can be created based on the popular misconceptions which students are having. And finally, 120-word supportive announcement at the end of the session. So this is how you can do all the analysis of all the results that you are getting based on the conversation students are doing. You can also analyze the quiz results to find out places where students are not performing good. So let's say you use any of the tools, whatever, let's say you are using Bayground or Google Form, you will always get the feedback back. So if you use Quizy as a platform, so this is the Excel which you will get for the responses which students provide. So let's say there were 5 questions and these were the responses. Then you will get like which student gave what response. So you see uh, whether they attempted all the questions or not. Were they, how many were correct, how many were wrong, and it provides you all the participants data also. So what you can do, you can dump all this Excel sheet along with the question, that for this question 20% attempted right, 80% attempt were wrong from the students. So in this way you will be able to identify which of this question belongs to which category of data preprocessing, which students are not able to understand, and then create course material uh, around it. So this is how you can analyze the results of your quizzes also. So this is what all is the part of your analytics phase. Once you have learned something, you have delivered the content, and you have assessed the student also, now you need to do the analysis and come up with the next step which you need to perform to improve the performance. Now let's talk about the last step, which was how to use AI ethically with respect to education. So I have a quick question to all of you. Which of this is a PII information? All of you can use the chat, person name or Aadhaar name, or both are PII information. So you can use chat to put in the answer. Yeah. So I get a response. Aadhaar number is a PII. Aadhaar number. Yeah. So whatever responses I'm getting, they are correct. Aadhaar number is a PII information. Person name is a private information, not a PIIs. Is what's the difference between private and PII? So if you have someone's Aadhaar name, you can quickly point like who that person is. But person name, they can be multiple people with the same name. So just knowing the person name will not give you the identity of a person. Combined with something else might give you the exact pinpointed note to that person. So Aadhaar number is a PII, and why it is important to know? This is important to know because of these reasons. So the responsible usage of AI is very important. So if you remember, I had talked about that no AI is 100% correct. So if you look at the first block, so always make sure accuracy should be there in whatever information that you are consuming. Always verify whatever content AI has generated through Perplexity or Google Scholar for source citation before publishing it to student. Privacy protection, this is why I asked what is PII. Never include students' personally identifiable information in AI prompts like Aadhaar number, WhatsApp screenshots into tools. Use anonymized content only. Always do proper attribution, like from where you have taken that information. Cite all resources and add credits. If you are using AI to create content, so make sure you make that content reachable to all sorts of students. Provide captions, alt text, and good color contrast so that it can be consumed by all students and all the audience. Then academic integrity. So AI is okay for ideas, outlines, and practice. It is not allowed for proctored tests. So clearly disclose that where students or you can use AI versus where it is prohibited. And the final is AI detector usage. So a lot of AI detectors have come up. There are a lot of AI tools which tries to identify whether it has been written by AI or not. But behind the scene, they are also using AI, and they are also not 100% correct. So these AI detector tools are also not reliable. So as a good practice, what you can do, ask students to maintain the version history of the work that they have done, what prompts that they are using, and conduct short viva from the versions which they have given, so that you understand that whether the person has done due diligence and has put in the required effort to come up with the final version or not. AI detectors are good, but still they have their own limitations and challenges. So these are the 6 pointers you should always consider while using any AI tool in or for any of the use cases with respect to your education domain. Yeah, so this is all I had to cover today. Thank you, everyone. Anyone has any question, they can put in chat.
I don't think there are any questions, and we are almost on the clock.
Yeah.
So let me take this opportunity to thank you, Shikha, for joining in and sharing deep insights and knowledge about all these new tools, AI tools, which can be used for presentations and especially for lesson plans. Uh, so thank you so much for that. And I'm sorry we don't have time to take more questions. We have our next person, next trainer who is joining us from Prague to take this session. So I'll say thank you to you, and I'll welcome Dr. Pramod Dasan, who's joining us from Prague, Czech Republic. He's Director AI Solutions at DHL Group, and we are very honored to have him with us today uh, to take this session because he can explain to you things, especially from his practical experience of designing solutions built with AI to solve complex commercial problems and to help customers with the best of experiences using artificial intelligence. So thank you so much, Dr. Pramod, for joining us, and I will hand it over to you to take the session forward.
Yeah, thanks, Kamna. I hope you can hear me and see my screen.
Yes, yes, you can just scroll your screen a little bit, uh, I mean your camera a little bit so that, yes, this is a bit, yes. I think you're trying to share something.
Yes.
So, to the participants, we will be sharing the presentations with you on WhatsApp group. So, because some of the files are heavy and I cannot email it to you, we'll be sharing the decks on WhatsApp. And I'll request you to engage and interact and take as much benefit as you can from the session. Thank you.
Yeah, is my presentation visible?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Then we can kickstart. So welcome to the session, Generative AI and Robotics. So the session comprised of a few modules along with the videos. So far, the agenda for the next 90 minutes would be on 4 topics. And we will start off with each topic with a video with a specific industry use case. We'll watch the video together. And at the end of the first module, we can have a small Q&A and we'll go through it and we will finish in 90 minutes for modules. So yeah, looking forward for your attention and let's be interactive as much as possible. You can raise your questions in the Q&A module. I'll be checking it regularly and answer during the end of the module. I'll answer your questions. With that, let's start our session, the rise of generative AI in robotics. Uh, First and the foremost thing is why do we need to learn AI? Is it a boon or a bane? The same topic I think we debated during Industrial Revolution. Like, will the machines replace humans in manufacturing? Similarly, right now we are talking about AI. So, at least the perspective of why AI should be what we have to know the knowledge on AI is AI will not replace humans, but humans using AI, let's say, for example, if I don't use an AI and if another human being who can use AI, who can do my job efficiently, then I'll be replaced because I'm ignorant on the AI tools and tech stacks. So, with that, why we have to do or learn AI, we will enter into the concept. So, in the module one, we talk about generative AI in robotics, shaping up the future of automations and innovations. We briefly talk about how big is the market, what are the potential opportunities. Let's start off with a small brain teaser on your right hand side of the screen. What you see is a small picture. Does anyone remember this picture? You can type your answers in the chat. I'm looking at the chat. Okay. It's one of the first Robo TV series which was telecasted between 1985 and 90s. If you're a 90s kid, I think this was one of the movie or a series which was forecasted. Yeah. So let's start off with the word robo. Um, with respect to robot, any guesses from which country did the word robo originated from? You can type your answer on the webinar chat window. Hello. Can anybody type the answer? I'm just curious. I hope everyone can hear me. Okay. So the word, okay, any you can take, yeah, Swapnil is correct. It came from the word Czech Republic. I mean, the word is the originated from the word Czech language. Um, Let me fix my screen. Yeah, the word originated from Czech language. It's called robota, which means forced labor. A bit of history when Russia ruled Czech Republic. At that point in time, Czechoslovakia, the part of Czech was manufacturing all items for Soviet Union, and Slovak was in IT. So the word originated because the manufacturing industry originated for Russia in Czech Republic. So the word robot was a forced labor. It was one of the word which was used in Karel Čapek play, right? And then that's how the word originated. So with that, let's look at how generative AI is changing the world of robots in terms of design and prototyping, how it has reduced time to market, and how big is the industry. So the robotic market right now is at 15.2 million in 2022. That's the market. The market is going at a rate of 35% approximately, or 34% approximately year on year. By 2032, we are looking at almost 856 million market. That's the projection. So that's how the robotic industry is going on. Let's look at how robots are used. Since I'm from DHL, I would like to showcase how the robots are used in modernizing the warehouse. So it's a small video from the supply chain warehouses. So as you see, um, there are lots and lots of warehouses being developed in the logistics sectors in India. So let's see how the robots play a vital role in warehouse for picking and packing. I just want somebody to type whether you can hear the sound or not. I've shared it with the sound. Yeah. So what you can see, how robots are easing the life of human beings. No need to carry heavy items for picking and packing. So that's how the first video talks about how humans are interacting on a day-to-day basis in a warehouse. Um, let's look at who are the major key market players, right from hardware and software. So everybody know about OpenAI in terms of ChatGPT, for example. Boston Dynamics is a robot manufacturer. NVIDIA is supplying chips for AI data centers, and Siemens is manufacturing the rotors and other all electronic items. So these are some of the major companies which heavily involves in robot manufacturing. And the strategy is to innovate and drive the competitiveness and how to leverage the Gen AI landscape and how to improve new robots for the user base. Right now, if you see, most of the robots are used on the industry side, while Japan is testing some of the robots for homemade domestic purposes, but it's not fully commercialized. So there are slowly things are progressing. And as you know that you can see robotic vacuum machines are already in place in India. So that's the various key market players in the market for robotics. Let's also watch how BMW is opened a new virtual factory using NVIDIA chipset using Omniverse. It's close to, I mean, in Europe, next to Hungary, in a small place called Debrecen. You can see how the digital twin and NVIDIA and the robots play hand in hand through this video.
The world's industries are accelerating digitalization with over $3.4 trillion being invested in the next 3 years. We at BMW strive to be leading edge in automotive digitalization. With NVIDIA Omniverse and AI, we set up new factories faster and produce more efficiently than ever. This results in significant savings for us. It all starts with planning, a complex process in which we need to connect many tools, datasets and specialists around the world. Traditionally, we are limited since data is managed separately in a variety of systems and tools. Today, we've changed all that. We are developing custom Omniverse applications to connect our existing tools, know-how and teams all in a unified view. Omniverse is cloud native and cloud agnostic, enabling teams to collaborate across our virtual factories from everywhere. I'm about to join a virtual planning session for Debrecen in Hungary, our new EV factory opening in 2025. Let's jump in.
Milan is joining.
Hello everyone.
Hi Milan, great to see you. We are in the middle of an optimization loop for the body shop. Would you like to see?
Thanks, I'm highly interested. And I'd like to invite a friend.
Sure.
Hey Milan, good to see you.
Jensen, welcome to our virtual planning session.
It's great to be here. What are we looking at?
This is our global planning team who are working on a robot cell in Debrecen's digital twin. Matthias, tell us what's happening.
So we've just learned the production concept requires some changes. We are now reconfiguring the layout to add a new robot into the cell.
Okay, but if we add a new robot on the logistics side, we need to move our storage container.
All right, let's get this new robot in.
That's perfect. But let's double check. Can we run the cell? Excellent.
Milan, this is just incredible. Virtual factory integration is essential for every industry. I'm so proud to see what our teams did together. Congratulations.
We are working globally to optimize locally. After planning, operations is king. And we've already started. To celebrate the launch of our virtual plant, I'd like to invite you to open the first digital factory with me.
I'd be honored. Let's do it.
Yep. So I think in the video you have learned some of the jargons like digital twin. So let's start off with what is digital twin, virtual factory, what does it mean? So we have physical factory production line, and if you want to do a what-if analysis or replanning, you kind of restructure the physical production line into a software world. That's called digital twin, where you can do a what-if analysis. Let's say in this video, you have seen a robotic arm coming in, and they have to move the storage area. So this is gone through a principle of, let's say, Six Sigma, Kanban, value chain. So you need to know where to place and how the entire process is orchestrating. So traditionally, people physically put item in the production line, understand, see if it is optimized or not, and then they redo the work. So the cost of the change and the time to market was very high. With robots and digital twin coming in, you can see the entire operations can be done virtually through digital twin. And that's how before they come in, you can see a lot of simulations happening on the production line. So this is an example how the robots, the generative AI, NVIDIA, for example, are working hand in hand. So that's an example snapshot. Let's look at market segmentation. So as I mentioned earlier, the robotic market and the generative AI market consist of software, hardware, services as part of the crucial segments. And we will have a detailed module 4 where we talk about the key application areas, which includes healthcare, services, automotives, and others. So the main highlight is the market is poised for a significant growth at a 34% increase by 2032, $856 million. And the insights into competitive companies are looking at how do I leverage the Gen AI and robotic capabilities to have zero touch factories. So the entire factory, they're called dark factories. So if you look at China, if you Google in YouTube, the dark factories, literally the entire production line is run with robots with no lights on. So that's called the dark factories, which means that it's completely energy saving, highly efficient robotic driven production line in China. So if you Google it, you'll be able to see it. So in terms of customizations and inquiries, so there are tailor-made robots which come in for the key industry players. So in the module, we have seen car manufacturing, we have seen logistics, how the robots are encouraged. So where currently the robots are being leveraged and used is where we have the aging economy, aging population, for example, like Japan or in Europe, where Western Europe, especially where the cost of employee is quite high and people do not want to work in the factories, they want to work in a white collar job. So there, mostly the low paying blue collar jobs are being replaced by the factories. So the error is absolute zero, and the constant production line can run throughout the day, 24 cross 7. So that's a view of how robotics are working on the first part of the module, the market segmentations, various players, and what are the modules involved in a robotic. So with that, we will enter into the second module, the introduction of Gen AI, where you will be looking at the various concepts. Before I go to the module 2, I would like to see if there is any questions in the chat window. If not, we can go to the session 2. You can type your questions in the uh, chat window or the Q&A. I opened up the Q&A as well, so you can type it in the Q&A. Okay. So let's talk about Gen AI. What is Gen AI? I expand as generative AI. I'll be using Gen AI throughout my presentation. What it actually means is it refers to the trained neural networks for generating the content based upon some of the inputs. There are technologies which are in the market, like you have ChatGPT, you have Perplexity, for example, in India, which is from India origin, Dale, and which are there are many tools are available right now which helps us in real-time translations, image recognitions, image generation. This is all a part of the Gen AI. Before I go to the next part, how Gen AI works, that's a question. Can you highlight robotics with the digital twin for cyber fraud? I can talk about this in logistics or in the banking sector, right? So in the logistics, the first mile where we pick up, let's say, a shipment and once it's a B2B customer, B2B stands for business to business customer. Let's say if you're shipping, if I'm working, I as a DHL working for American Express, delivering shipment from, let's say, from the manufacturing of the plastic cards, credit cards to, let's say, to NASCOM members who is privileged to have Amex card. So I need to pick up the card and deliver the card to NASCOM, let's say in Delhi, and they use an account number, for example. And let's assuming that this account number falls into the hands of somebody else, and they try to generate and use this account number to send shipments. We there is a system of digital twin where it says that this account number belongs to Amex. That goes from, let's say, example, the manufacturing is in Chennai, it goes to Delhi, and assuming that somebody is used this account number to send a shipment from Calcutta to Delhi, this will automatically be flagged in the first mile and says that this particular shipment is a fraud shipment or do an assessment that whether this particular shipment needs to be picked up in Calcutta and delivered in Mumbai. Otherwise, normally what happens is we deliver, the operational guys will deliver the shipment, and the billing guys goes and says, yeah, you have sent in the month of October 2 shipments, one from Chennai to Delhi, another from Calcutta to Mumbai. While the customer says, that's a fraud shipment, I never send any shipments. So this is an example of how a fraud detection happens in terms of, let's say, digital twin. In cyber fraud, for example, um, account number is being leaked, and we have the informations, like for example, when somebody trying to get into our network through a different IP, we have our entire, let's say, the data centers being monitored and spoofed. So there's a cyber defense center which actively monitors this denial of service attack or trying to download the data or Trojan attack. So there are various ways of doing it. So we model the entire landscape of a data center into the digital twin, and they monitor it. Mostly this digital twin is used in the modeling of a physical factory here, but in the cyber fraud, for example, exploiting the account number for shipments, banking sector used based upon your GPS location. If you try to withdraw the money, and let's say if your person is in Chennai and you always withdraw it, and you linked your GPS location with an ATM card, especially Revolut is using this technology. And let's say if somebody's abused or duplicated my card, somebody tries to withdraw from Chicago, and it is not linked up to my GPS location, I get a call from the service department saying that, are you in location? Which location are you? Somebody's trying to withdraw. I've witnessed this fraud like 5 years ago when I was in the KFC in the evening and somebody was withdrawing cash in Chicago and I was in Prague. So that's an example of digital twin for cyber fraud. Two examples. So with that, I will go back to the generative AI works. Generative AI explained in 5 minutes. So let's look at how generative AI,
At
what it is all
Austral,
about.
we love all our customers equally, even though they are all unique. Look at Jörg in...
Meet Emma, a graphic designer working on a new project. One day, her colleague mentions a tool that helps create designs, images, and text using AI. Intrigued, Emma wonders how AI can create something from scratch. Her curiosity grows, and she decides to dive deeper into this new technology called Generative AI. Generative AI refers to a type of artificial intelligence designed to create new content, such as text, images, music, and videos. Unlike traditional AI, which analyzes or categorizes data, Generative AI produces original content based on patterns learned from vast datasets. Essentially, it generates new, unique material. These models are often trained on large amounts of data and use sophisticated algorithms to mimic human creativity. Tools like ChatGPT or DALL-E can create art, write essays, or simulate conversations by generating outputs based on user prompts. Generative AI has a wide range of applications: content creation. Tools like GPT-4 generate text, blog posts, stories, and essays from simple prompts. Art and design. AI models such as DALL-E generates unique images and designs based on text descriptions, transforming creativity in art. Music and audio. AI can compose music or replicate voices, offering new possibilities for musicians and audio engineers. Healthcare. Generative AI simulates disease progression or creates synthetic medical data, helping doctors gain faster insights for research. Let's take image generation as an example to explain how generative AI works. Data collection and learning. AI models like DALL-E are trained on large datasets of images paired with text descriptions. These datasets teach the model to recognize different objects, colors, styles, and how to associate text with corresponding images. The more data the AI learns from, the better it can generate accurate and diverse images based on user prompts. Neural networks and transformers. When Emma inputs a prompt like a cat wearing sunglasses, the transformer model processes the text. recognizing words like cat and sunglasses, and links them to images it learned from during training. Transformers help the AI decide how to combine these elements into a coherent image. Tokens and context. The text input, such as a cat wearing sunglasses, is split into smaller parts called tokens. The AI processes each token and understands their relationship. For instance, it knows the sunglasses should be placed on the cat, creating a contextually accurate image. Feedback mechanism. Generative AI models improve through feedback. After generating an image, users provide feedback on the accuracy or quality of the output. If Emma's generated image shows the sunglasses floating beside the cat, she can mark it as incorrect. The model uses this feedback to improve future image generations. Reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning further enhances the AI's ability. The model is rewarded when it generates accurate images and corrected when it makes mistakes. For example, when Emma describes a sunset and the AI produces a vibrant sunset image, it receives positive reinforcement. Over time, this method refines the model's ability to generate better images. Data science and AI models. Data scientists curate the training data and define the parameters that help the AI generate accurate images. The more varied the dataset, the more versatile the AI becomes in generating diverse types of content. Advanced models use billions of parameters, which are settings that guide the AI in processing data and generating outputs. Generating original content. Once trained, the model can generate original images. For example, Emma might describe a futuristic cityscape, and the AI would produce a unique image based on what it learned. The generated image isn't just a copy of past data, but an entirely new creation, showcasing the AI's ability to combine learned patterns and creativity. Now, let's have a quick fun quiz on what we have learned so far. What does generative AI primarily do? A. Analyze data. B. Generate new content. C. Store data. Make sure.
Yeah, let's try to answer this quiz. What does generative AI primarily do? You can type your answers in the webinar chat. A, B, or C, or A, B, and C, everything. Yeah, the important keyword is primarily do. Okay, I'll give one more minute and then we can wrap up. Yeah, so primarily it generates the new content, but in order to generate the new content, it has to analyze the data, store data, do everything. So since the primarily do, so the answer is B. Thank you for answering this. Let's go back here. So maybe you can mention what are the latest tools in GenAI if you are using. Let's say, for example, generating images. Can somebody tell me which tool do you use for generating images? Uh, Anybody? Let's say if you want to generate, the olden days we use Photoshop to generate. Now you can use prompt to generate images. Can anybody name one or two tools? Canva. Okay, great. The latest one, Google AI Studio, Microsoft Designer, but I prefer Google. Yeah, Midjourney is also there. I prefer Google AI Studio because it is much advanced than Midjourney. Dale, yeah. So from an image generation perspective, Google has improved. It's called Nano Banana, but now they've changed it to Google AI Studio. So in case if you have free time, try to explore it. Okay, let's look at the impact of generative AI on the employment. For example, we used to give, or you need to be proficient in English to review your thesis, blog writings, contract creations, or including the coding. But with generative AI, I think the intelligence is normalized in my view. So you have M365 from Microsoft Office. It can review your kind of emails, documentations. Even it can tell you how to set or how your current wording looks like. And if you're not very good in writing, you have tools and technologies which will help you to write. So now everybody can become a Shakespeare through AI, in my view. There's an app, if you want to write songs, there's a Suno app which you can write songs and compose the music as well. So there's a huge transformation happening in the various sectors in Gen AI, especially. Let's look at how it's solving house husband or house wife problem to robotic kitchen. Let's watch this. This is one of the interesting video which I've seen. I wish I could have one.
As robotics-obsessed engineers, we set out to create a new, efficient way of cooking food. Our woks cook by constantly tumbling your food, which provides a really nice and even sear. They're heated with induction, and we have temperature control to perfectly cook your meal every time.
From our humble starts in our fraternity basement, we developed a prototype that really sort of proved we could build something that can create delicious, high-quality meals.
I needed to come to Boston. I discovered that the robotic kitchen brings precision, consistency, taste, and also freshness to the preparation.
Yeah, so that's how robotics are even taking on the cooking industry. So you don't need to have an expensive Michelin star chef. As long as if you know the menu and if you know the instructions, you can feed into the robo and your food is cooked. So that's an example where robotics is also revolutionizing the food industry. The success of generative AI is prompts. So you need to know there's some a field is coming up right now called prompt engineering because it's very, very important. And you need to have the prompts correct in order to generate or in order to ensure that whatever outcome is readed, you need to ensure it is properly prompted. There's a separate field which is coming up called prompt engineering. And let's also understand we have seen Gen AI. Let's look at what Gen Aug or generative augmentation means. It's a promising approach to enhance the robotic capabilities. Let's say we already mentioned in Gen AI, you need a lot of data to train, and you need to train it. You build a model, the model has to be feedback, and the efficiency needs to be at an optimum level, and then you release into the field. And let's say if there are any changes to the socio-economic environment on the robo, it has to relearn and do it. So it takes a lot of time to fine tune the robotic process. But now let's look at how generative augmentation, promising approaches which enhances the robotic capabilities, and the training and retraining is made very easy. So let's look at that in a minute.
In this work, we present GenAug, retargeting behaviors to unseen situations via generative augmentation. Current robot imitation learning systems often require humans to provide demonstrations. While this method may succeed in environments that are similar to the training set, they often fail in environments that are far from training distribution. Our system GenAug closes this gap by automatically generating a large and diverse set of training data using text-to-image generative models. Given a demonstration on one simple environment, GenAug can automatically change the texture of the objects in the scene.
Just to put a perspective, there is a robo which was supposed to take this package, which is a mouse, and put it onto the basket. And if you look at the environment on the left side, it's a table which is perfectly flattened, smooth, and there's no distractions or other stuff. So by generative augmentation, what is actually doing is it's changing the object, is changing where to put. It brings all the distractors into the field and it is training the data. So that's the short gist of the video. Let's watch it.
Change the object classes. Change the table and background appearance. And add distractor objects. So starting from the initial single environments, we can automatically generate a much larger and more diverse dataset. Here we show more visualizations. We use a 6-DOF XMR robot with a vacuum gripper mounted on the large table with an Intel RealSense camera mounted on the tripod. Given a few demonstrations of a behavior in a simple environment and the associated text prompt, our goal is to transfer this behavior to any unknown scenes. To do this, a user generates a small dataset by specifying pick and place locations. These 2D locations are projected to the 3D points in the robot coordinates using calibrated depth maps. We then apply GenAug to create a large and diverse dataset and train a language-guided imitation learning model. Here we show our real-world experiments. By training on the dataset extrapolated from only 10 demonstrations in the simple environment on the left, the robot is able to solve the task in entirely different environments on the right. Here we show another example with a new training object pair. Note that the demonstrations were collected in a relatively simpler scene. The right shows zero-shot transfer to complex scenes with dense clutter. Our system can also generalize to unseen object categories. This implies that agents with behaviors demonstrated with one set of objects can now transfer to other unseen compatible objects.
So the previous video is the robotic is trained to lift a plate, a cup, a saucer, and a bowl.
Here we show more real-world results.
Well, so if you deploy this robot to declutter your dining table, it will work. So that's the overall picture of how generative augmentation helps to train robo in the field. So it's easier. So one robo can be deployed in a multiple environment. So this will able to commercialize your home robotics because every home household is different and robo can be trained. That's an example why Amazon bought the iRobo, for example. Now you have the
Thank you for
data
watching.
of iRobo, the house mapping area data available with Amazon. So which means that it can be used for your marketing, for their marketing or customizing the needs. So that's how they share the data and work on it. So this is an example or a teaser to show how generative augmentation is used in the robotic training. So just to recap, GenAug, the generative augmentation, uses generative AI to improve the robotic trainings. Uh, for example, previously the self-driving cars, you need to train the robo across multiple geographical locations, across different climatic conditions. But now with GenAI simulations, you'll be able to simulate that as an input and train your self-driving softwares. So that's an example as well. The traditional training methods face limitations. Let's go back and refer to the self-driving cars where you need to drive the car in all the different, let's say, geographical locations, roads, etc. It takes a lot of time, resources to do this real world experiments. But now with Gen augmentations, it is now things are made easier. So it's used for robotic trainings. Image augmentation techniques is used to help and train the robotics. That helps to commercialize the robots and then reduces the time to market. Let's look at what are the various models available in the GenAug segment. Meta, as you know, the Meta is the parent company for Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. So there are ready-made data sets available for augmentations, for Gen augmentations. So for example, there are a lot of companies are being investing in the Gen Aug training sector, for example, for robotic learning. So let's watch a short video on that as well.
Generative AI is a new breed of artificial intelligence that's designed to learn and create new things on its own. It has the ability to produce art, music, and even writing that can mimic human creativity.
So generative AI refers to a type of AI model that automates the creation of content.
Most of AI in last couple of decades has been about analyzing existing data that includes predicting likelihood of failures in systems, detecting frauds, recommending items for purchase, or goal image search that return similar image. Generative AI is very different as it allows you to create new content. Generative AI models use complex algorithms and deep learning techniques to analyze and learn from large datasets in order to create new and original content. These models are trained on a vast amount of data and then use that knowledge to create new content that is similar to what they have learned. Generally, the content generated by generative AI is very similar to the data that they have been trained on. To bring variety in training data and regenerate targeting behaviors to unseen situations, generative augmentation is generally used. Generative augmentation is a technique in machine learning that involves generating synthetic or artificial data to augment existing training data. This is done to improve the performance of machine learning model by increasing the size and diversity of the training dataset, which can help further improve the accuracy and robustness of the model. Generative augmentation can be achieved through various methods such as generative adversarial networks, variational autoencoders, and other deep learning models that generate new data based on the pattern characteristics of the existing data. By doing this, the generated data can be used to supplement the existing dataset, providing a wide range of examples for the model to learn from. For example, in image classification, generated augmentation can be used to create new images that are similar to the existing images but with variation in lighting, angle, or background. This can help the model to learn to recognize objects under different conditions, leading to better performance when faced with real-world problems. Robot learning methods and generative augmentation are the two important techniques in the field of robotics and machine learning. While they are separate techniques, they can be used together to create more robust and effective robots. We have already learned about generative augmentation. Let's look at robot learning methods and what they are. Robot learning methods involves teaching robots to learn and adapt to new situations and environments using various types of machine learning techniques such as supervised learning, reinforcement learning, and deep learning. These techniques allow robots to learn from their experience, make decisions, and interact with their environment in a more intelligent and autonomous way. In robotics, generative augmentation can be used to create synthetic data that represents new and unseen situations or environments, which can then be used to train deep learning models. This can help robots to learn to adapt to new and unseen situations and environments, making them more effective and versatile in a wider range of tasks. For example, in robot navigation, generative augmentation can be used to create synthetic data that represents new and diverse environments, such as different layouts, obstacles, and lighting conditions. This can help robot learning methods to learn to navigate in a more robust and generalized way, improving their performance in a real-world situation. For robot learning to generalize, we must be able to leverage sources of data or priors beyond robots' own experience. Recently, Facebook released GenAug, a model for generative augmentation for real-world data collection. GenAug are image text generation models, which are pre-trained on large corpus of web scrape data. They show that despite these generative models are being trained on largely non-robotic data, they can serve as an effective way to impart priors into the process of robot learning in a way that enables widespread generalization. In particular, they show how pre-trained generative models can serve as an effective tool for semantically meaningful data augmentation. Let's hear from them how this model actually works.
Yeah. So that goes back to the previous thing of how GenAI robotics handpicks works. Let's go back to the slide. In the module 2, we have seen how GenAI works, the transformers, the tokenizations, how the content is generated. We talked about the gen augmentation, how it is used in robotics for training data and how to bring that into the market commercialization. Again, this area is also changing very rapidly. A lot of algorithms, a lot of companies are coming in. So the conclusion is Gen AI is revolutioning both the content creation as well as robotic training. That's a takeaway. And the advancements in Gen AI highlights how the intelligence is becoming normalized, which means that the robots are becoming smarter and more capable and adaptable. So with that, I would be looking at any questions for the module 2. I'm monitoring the web chat. And then maybe in a couple of minutes, we'll go for the module 3. So maybe a few questions. Can somebody tell me or define what transformer is. You can put that answers in the chat window. What is transformer in the GenAI? What does it do? What is the primary function? LLM. LLM use transformer. That's correct. But I'm asking, what can somebody explain what a transformer? Like, I need to generate an image. We saw this in the video here, right?
Meet Emma, a graphic designer using generative AI suggests text uses original content based on models are often trained on tools like ChatGPT or simulate conversation. Tools like music and example to AI models like different objects, color, the more transformers. When Emma inputs a prompt like a cat wearing sunglasses, the transformer model processes the text.
So the transformer, this is just splitting whatever you write in the human name. Transformer converts this. So that's the answer.
Recognizing words like cat and sunglasses and links them to images it learned from during training.
Yeah. So an example, a transformer will look at the phrase, will try to tokenize that a cat wearing glass, what I need to do, a cat, a sunglass, I need to link this to, and then I need to generate an image. So, and you know that the sunglass has to be in the eyes. So that's the role of a transformer. Thanks for your answers. Let's go to the third module, the integration of GenAI and robotics. Right. In this module, we like to learn on how the integration of GenAI and robotics are rapidly evolving topics. We look at how robots or embodied AI agents or humanoids. Tesla is also working on Optimus. So if you are a Transformer fan, there are certain the Autobots, Optimus Prime. So these are all which we have seen in the movie are getting now into reality. So what AI agent is? I think you would come across AI agents. So AI agents and RPA, robotic process automations, are slightly different. If you have a list of monotonous tasks, let's say a BPO task, you try to automate it. Let's say most of the BPO process invoices in your financial process. That can be modeled, and we can use in robotic process automation to replace human beings in the BPO for invoice processing. This is called robotic process automation, but there is no robo involved. It is just a piece of software which runs and works like a human being, and it has a set of instructions. There is no intelligence or artificial intelligence into this agent. So if you get an invoice, you read the invoice, you see the amount, and then you check the account balance, you check who's sending what. It doesn't do any intelligence. For example, if I'm a person looking at the invoice, if somebody gives me a fake invoice, I should be able to detect whether that invoice is fake. And if I model that intelligence into an AI agent, it becomes an artificial AI agent and not an RPA. That's a slim difference between an RPA, robotic process, and an AI agent, right? But embodied AI agents are more like a human robots, which can, let's say, be used in various applications. For example, helping elderly people or in the airports in terms of guidance. Singapore has launched policing patrol through robots. So these are all embodied AI agents which can do and mimic a job of a human being, right? The main challenge in the robots is one, it's called Morvex paradox. The sensory motor skills. It's quite difficult to some of the sensory motor skills to be replicated, as well as the human emotional needs that requires a computational source, a huge source and power to recreate this into the humanoids, or I call this as a robots, right? So here, for example, Meta or the Facebook parent company or rename company has built various models artificial visual cortex, able to do human visual processing, but still it's not there. There are models which helps the robot to do for the fundamental motor skills and depth of perceptions, for example. Um, so there are a lot of investments and research are happening in the field as well. Ego 4D dataset is being compiled from the Meta. It has a data set which can be used for any robots, for humanoids to do a human performance task. For example, police patrolling in or assistant in the airport, or being a waiter in a restaurant, right? So there are a lot of practical applications in the AI robots there. For example, a house help robot, which we have seen already, how the Gen augmentation is using and training the house help robots, for example. These are some of the examples which we use in the embodied AI agents, right? There are concerns about data privacy. Imagine you have a iRobo machine in your house, or Siri or Alexa. It constantly hears your interactions, and you would have downloaded the app. For example, Instagram, you're talking with your friend about your next trip, let's say an European trip. And then all of a sudden, your Instagram reels, you become a target for all the advertisements for the tour operators. So it is listening to your data. We are constantly monitored. So that impacts the privacy. So in Europe, we have GDPR, which is like protection for the personal data. So, for example, German law is very strict. If I, as a company, expose my customer who's a German data out, the personalized data, which means my first name, last name, my date of birth, my address, the company who or the person who's responsible in the company for the data lake is imprisoned. No questions asked. That's how the serious is on the data protection of GDPR in Germany. There are similar data is also being enforced in India. It's in discussions. EU AI Act is already available now this year, and it will come into enforcement in 2026. For example, I've shown you the robots. For example, if you are doing picking jobs in a warehouse, and if I bend down and pick up, let's say, an article for packing, and if I do 1,000 picks, I might end up with my occupational health of a backache. And this is not good. So there are systems being developed where I have to ensure that a person develops a picking strategy so that all the body muscles are worked and he's not injured. So that's one of the reasons why, if you look at it, most of your check-in luggage is not beyond 32 kilos, for example, because that's the standard limit of a human being can pick up. So these are all some of the examples where the Labor Act comes into picture before you put things in practice. So it works hand in hand. So we've talked about data risk, data breaches, business model consideration. If you want to deploy any new system in Germany, you have to go through all the possible labor code, labor council, it's called workers council, which is similar to the workers union, to put a system in place. So that gives them the framework to protect the robots, not taking away the jobs of humans, but also protecting the data, etc. So that's one of the reason why there was an advertisement in Germany, which is being played, that do not upload your kid's photograph in your Facebook or on let's say Instagram. And also, if you see in Facebook, if you upload your current picture, we will tell you how you look like at the age of 70. And if you try to upload the pictures, so they can use it for any marketing purpose in any point in time. So once data protection, you need to understand how data is used or it will be used. It is good to understand the terms and conditions before you say I accept. So some of the things that you need to consider within AI, especially in the data uh, security, is important. That's how many companies have something called data protection officer. So if I need to do an AI project or a Gen AI project, I have to get uh, a data protection officer approval who will check whether I can use the data and what I use and what I develop is not impacting the business. Let's say in terms of the AU or GDPR issues. So that's the foremost thing. So privacy concerns, we talked about it. Um, and Elon Musk is working on the Optimus Robo, which also compromises on privacy concerns. For example, X is using how he's working on a large metadata, how people respond, how people react. So that can be used for data modeling for robots as well. So before that, yeah, before you put anything online, you need to be careful how the data will be used, and it's becoming very important. Whenever you put your data into the cloud or anything, you have to be careful how the data they're going to use it. So with that, let's look at a concluding video on module 3, how Boston Dynamics is putting Atlas to work. Boston Dynamics is a company which is in the forerunner of building robots. They have built robots. Now they are partnering with Samsung, a South Korean company, and they're building more and more industry application robots. They're building even soldiers right now for to be in the front line as well. So let's look at this robo, which works in a factory.
Boston Dynamics just dropped new videos of its 100% electric Atlas robot. This is the first time the company has shared videos of this version of Atlas doing something like work, and the first time the company has shown it correcting a mistake. We're digging into the details, so let's get into it. When turning around, Atlas's torso and legs turn in different directions. Given the fully autonomous label on this demo, it could be reasonable to assume the robot made the decision to move that way. Whether it did it because it saves time or energy, I can't say. Pop-ups in the video give us a sense of the robot's vision system and how it marks the different bins it's reaching into. About halfway through this demo, one of the engine covers, that's the item Atlas is moving around, appears to snag, causing the robot to react, reposition, and correct its mistake autonomously. We've seen similar demos from other robotics companies. Figure showed its Figure 2 robot picking up and placing auto parts, even appearing to correct some of its mistakes. Tesla's Optimus robot was also recently shown doing various work tasks, first at the company's We Robot event. However, after reports came out that indicated the robots were human-assisted at the event, Tesla dropped a video showing Optimus in a lab setting doing many similar tasks labeled as autonomous. Another video posted by Boston Dynamics on Halloween shows Atlas doing the same task it did in the previous video while wearing a hot dog costume. In this example, someone dressed as a pickle moves the bins, Atlas catches another snag, and is able to react, reposition, and finish the task. This is the first time Boston Dynamics has shown its new electric Atlas in a work setting. The announcement video shows Atlas rising up off the ground and moving around, demonstrating the robot's hypermobility. At the time, Boston Dynamics said it was developing new grippers, or hands, for Atlas. Later, the company appeared to make good on that promise in a YouTube short. In this video, Atlas did some push-ups with what appeared to be grippers styled like fingerless nubs. Now we're seeing Atlas for the first time with finger-like appendages. Based on the movement shown in these new videos, it looks like Boston Dynamics has applied the same principles of hypermobility to them as they have to the rest of the robot. You can see the finger starts on the bottom to help lift the engine cover, then swivels up to pinch and hold the auto part as the robot carries it to its destination. These new videos of Atlas strutting its autonomous stuff come just weeks after Boston Dynamics and Toyota Research Institute, TRI, announced a partnership to develop AI and robotics. TRI has been working toward the development of a large behavior model, similar to a large language model that generates human-like behaviors instead of text. Boston Dynamics will supply the hardware, and TRI will be supplying the AI. TRI has also been hard at work in the field of self-driving and self-drifting cars. Tesla, one of Boston Dynamics' competitors in the humanoid robotic space, has touted the self-driving features of its cars as a helpful foundation for building out the type of AI needed to power humanoid robots. As Boston Dynamics works toward the commercialization of its humanoid robot technology, it's interesting to see the company partnering with an automotive AI company. Things are really heating up in the humanoid robotics world. Subscribe to CNET for the latest updates. What do you think of humanoid robotics?
Okay. So with that, we will end the module 3. Can somebody tell me what act um, is used in Europe for AI? Or, yeah, first question is what act is coming or enforced in 2026 in Europe? I've spoken about this act. You can type your answer. And then the second part of the question is what is the Data Protection Act used in or will be coming in India? You can type your answers. Yeah, GDPR is a right for Europe and India. Anybody wants to give a shot for India? India, it's called DPDP. It's called Digital Personal Data Protection Rule. I'm just typing the answer for India. So you should be aware next time when you're giving your Aadhaar card or other details. Yeah, you have to be mindful. So India, it's called DPDP, Digital Personal Data Protection Act. That's what you can see companies like Reliance, Adani, and other companies are coming up with the data center. Data center is going to be the next big business. For example, Russia keeps the data within their country. Germany, similarly, in Europe. Similarly, you have India, who will tell to keep all the data within India. Singapore already has the data has to reside in Singapore. China, they are the pioneers. They even have their own version of Google. Inside China, the data is not exposed. So that's how you should understand the DPDP. Yeah. Thank you. Let's look at the final module. I think how AI in robotics, what are the various applications, how it is used in the various industries. We've already seen in the first 3 slides how warehouse automations is happening. Let's start off with here. The robotic industry is very, very significantly evolved. For example, Japan being the pioneers in robotic automations. There are close about nearly 3 million industrial robots are working around various global sectors. Also, there's a new field of robots in the commercial sector, for example, in the public sector available as well, not only industry. Um, and we talked about $852 million market approximately by 2032. So with the AI, artificial intelligence, it aims to create more intelligent environments for better automations through gen augmentation for training and generative AI, right? For example, Microsoft, there is something called computer vision. So if you use that, if I have an image taken from my photograph, I'll be able to understand and look at the image and do programming and do enforcement learning. That's quite similar to gen augmentation, right? So some of the key use cases in AI robotics. Let's start off with agriculture. So right now we have drones, robots flying in, looking at the pesticide management, pest management, looking at the yield management through forecastings, and able to cut the labor in terms of agriculture as well, especially where, uh, for example, especially in Europe, where we have a demand of people, especially during the harvest season. Greece, for example, there is a season in Greece and Italy, or in Greece especially, when there's a harvest season for olives, they ask people from Eastern Europe to come and do the harvesting, and now that's being automated now. Um, so that's an example. In manufacturing, you've seen BMW production line, zero touch factories, or the dark factories, which is automating the production line. In terms of healthcare, I think you can see robotic surgeries, precision surgeries, which happens, which revolutionize the healthcare, where the doctor can operate at a very far distance through 5G communication or high band internet, can control the robotic surgeries remotely. In the transportation, smart homes applications, aerospace, we'll go through it in a minute. Yeah. So we talked about crop harvesting and weeding. It depends. Robots can be used to differentiate between the normal crop and the weed, and it can able to eliminate. It uses weed lasers through a computer vision to eliminate the weeds with the thermal energy, for example. Um, in terms of damage control and quality inspection, robots are used to have Six Sigma production lines. For example, in the field of production line where it has to be zero defect or Six Sigma, uh, robots are used for quality control, because humans sometimes working around the clock, it may not detect the fault. So especially in the chip manufacturing sector, so their robots are being used for damage control and quality inspections. Uh, Aerospace industry, for example, NASA Perseverance rover, which explores Mars, is using AI object detection so they can crawl the Martian surface, able to do it. Similarly, Airbus has the Simon 2 assisted astronauts, which helps us to do the daily task for their space stations, especially nuclear waste management, where it is very, very harmful for a human being to go and to work close to the control rods or in the nuclear power management sector. So AI bots are effectively used. It also helps in collaborating the fuel disposal or the nuclear decommissioning authority. So we talked about AI robots in the surgeries. For example, in transportation, we talked about self-driving cars, which uses AI gen augmentation for experimenting and producing self-driving capability in the cars. Company like Cruise, Waymo are some of the examples in that area. Smart home applications, yeah, we have seen Amazon, Astrobot, virtual assistant, security monitor. These are all various smart home applications which are being available in the market to automate the work. And last but not the least, I think you already had a topic of responsible AI in the previous session, I think. I would like to conclude the session that uh, when we use Gen AI, Gen augmentation, or robotics, a responsible AI is very, very important. I'm just going to scratch the surface of responsible AI because we'll be dealing in that in detail in a separate session. So whenever systems are being deployed for the new capabilities, it should ensure fairness, and we should mitigate biases in case something arises through an application capability. It should be transparent and explainable. There should be an ethical governance board when you build systems. So this has been well managed. In Europe, for example, we have EU Act, GDPR, for example. Similarly, DPDP is also coming in India. The maturity of DPDP and EU Act is very, very far away. If when yeah, the data in India is easily breached. Anybody can have anybody's data. There's no regulations. There's no regulatory authority where the company will come and fine. But there's a far, far way to go through. In terms of conclusion, yeah, shaping up tomorrow together using AI robots, we need to harness AI responsibly. AI in robotics has revolutionized automating various tasks, and there are a lot of potential benefits in expanding, but there is for a country like India, like ours, where human capital or the working population is more, we have to be considerate in applying those technologies. So with that, I conclude the topic. We have last 10 minutes. If you have any questions, you can enter it in the chat window. With that, the module 4 is complete.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pramod. Thank you so much for that very lively session, very interesting videos. We'll just wait for the questions to come in. While you guys are putting in your questions, I just want to tell you, some of you are asking me for the test assessment. Assessment is there on the Future Skills Prime. You don't have to pay any money. All of you have got promo codes in your email. And there is one question, sir, for you. We'll just, I'll just, complete my instructions and then you can answer the question. So you just go to proceed to pay. You give your address and then you enter the promo code. You'll be able to take the assessment for free. This promo code can be used only once. So I'll suggest you use it very carefully. And take the assessment once you're prepared. It's about 1 hour assessment. So you take it when you have the time and when you are ready. Yeah, that's the instruction from my side. Over to you, Dr. Pramod. There's a question.
Yeah, in the pharmaceutical industry, yes. For example, during COVID, we use mRNA procedures to automate or fast track the vaccinations. So there is a lot of generative AI which is reshaping the future of medicine. Let's take cancer detections, for example. The entire AI is relooking at how to do the cancer treatment, how to identify as early as possible. It helps in the drug discovery, for example, offering hopes to many new people as well. For example, Novartis, MSD are heavily, they have the data center here. There are a lot of people working in Prague. They have this like digital twin. We have fast tracking medicines for testing, for simulating it, right from diagnostic to the medicine discovery. There are a lot and lot of things are happening through AI. let's say, for example, Gen augmentation, where we have images. So if you have MRI images, you will be able to learn through, let's say, for example, detecting cancer through the image of AI. AI can learn how to detect, how to read the images, which can be missed by a human. So right from diagnostic all the way to drug discovery, AI is heavily used here.
So if there are no more questions, we can end the session. I guess there are no more questions. So thank you so much, Dr. Pramod. How's the
Yeah,
weather there?
thanks.
How's the weather there?
It's cold, 0 degrees.
Oh my God. And you're in the office right now?
I'm in the office. It's 4:30. It's already dark, so it'll get darker. So,
Right. Because you're not wearing any sweaters or anything. It
oh, no,
must
I'm
be
inside the office. Inside the office, so it's okay.
okay. Right. Wonderful to have the session and have you join us. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
With this, I'll end the session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks all.
Thank you.
Bye.